Read the lads and lasses, how we're doing and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is all about Mr. Anthony Gordon, injury news, and finally his first ever call-up to the England men's national squad from Gareth Southgate for the upcoming friendlies against Brazil and Belgium. He is going to play Brazil. I think Bruno said something like, see you at Wembley. You could trust Bruno just going absolutely smash Gordon and get him injured, couldn't you? That would be the most Bruno thing ever. But yes, he's got his first ever England call-up, and honestly, for the last hour, I feel like I've been Anthony Gordon. I am so chuffed for this lad, what he's went through at such a young age at Everton, getting chased out of that club, coming to Newcastle United, and he was getting this aura around him that he was a flop. Pushed Eddie Howe's hand away at Brentford. It didn't look too good to him. He still looked a little bit sort of arrogant, if you know what I mean. And of course, when he was at Everton, he literally had more yellow cards than goals and assists. Everyone was writing him off. £40 million, way too much. His second season at Newcastle United, he becomes our best performing player. He's been absolutely electric. It's not just his goals and assists as the classic winger. What does it good for us? It's his work rate. He gets back. He's absolutely just a bundle of energy. He is so good, man. I don't think we've seen such a young, promising winger like this at Newcastle United in a very long time. I couldn't be more happy for him, but we've also got some injury news today, ladies and gentlemen. So without further ado, let's get into it. And as well as them injury news, we'll take a look at what Gareth Southgate has said on calling up Anthony Gordon as well, because he's had some very nice words to say on Anthony Gordon himself. But just before we do that, ladies and gentlemen, hit that like button and subscribe if you are new around here. It's free to do so get down there and do it. I would really appreciate that. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll get into it now, and we'll get through the injury news first, because it looks very good. It's not good that he's out, but it's much better than what some people were saying, that he was out for like 6 to 9 months. Honestly, this is why I don't believe just random accounts off Twitter. But we finally got news off reliable journalists like Craig Hope from the Mail Sport, and he said this was 21 hours ago now, but we've even got an earlier injury update from him. I'm told the early signs of Anthony Gordon's knee injury are not too serious, and he's avoided serious knee injury. That is absolutely fantastic. Moving on to what he said this morning, it was Anthony Gordon is likely to return to training in the next coming days. Absolutely fantastic. And also on a sort of counter of that, if he's getting called up for England, because as we do know, the England FA actually contacted Newcastle United and said, is Gordon okay to play in these friendlies? And now he's being called up and he's likely return back to training very soon. It doesn't look like a sort of serious injury at all, does it, lads? I'm absolutely chuffed with that, mate. We need him on Saturday against Manchester City, because as it stands right now, and also I will say this in the match preview tomorrow for that game, stay tuned for that. We'll have injury news on that as well. Kevin De Bruyne is out for that game. Now I know we've just got the other like 40 world-class players that they've got to worry about, but De Bruyne for me is top 3 best players, one of the top 3 best players on the planet. He is unbelievable, so that's a big boost for Newcastle. Of course, he changed the game at St James's Park. But back on to Anthony Gordon, the main attraction for today, and today in itself. Gareth Southgate said this on why he did actually call him up. He's continued his form, because we looked at him in November. They wanted to call him up for the November squad, but he just didn't think the time was right. But he's continued his form since then. He's scoring, and his work for the team is absolutely excellent, and he wants to fight. I really like his attitude. He's had a very good season and scored some very good goals against the clubs at the top. The tubs at the Klopp. Don't want to be going on him. The amount of coverage he's got off the media recently, that's really annoyed me. But it looks like Gareth Southgate's just got fantastic things to say about him. And actually, now I'm looking at this England squad. Does Gareth Southgate actually want to win a tournament with us? Like, does he actually want to pick a good squad now? Because it looks like he actually has. But of course, I mean, how was Jordan Henderson in that England squad, lads? Honest to God. And I feel like why I've been so proud about Anthony Gordon, actually, just before we touch up on the squad again, why I feel like I've been so proud for him today is yet again what he's been through. He's still so young, in that this is our country. Do you know what I mean? This is our country that we are proud of, and I'm actually so excited to watch England again. I've been so bored of England, man, playing these friendlies and just winning 6-0 against Malta, 5-1 against Gibraltar all the time. Ukraine will play them all the time. Honest to God, I'm just sick of it. I really am. There's no competition, and when we do actually play a good team, we either scrape past them in the quarterfinals of a big tournament, and then we're just going to let ourselves down, score an own goal, get sent off, or just don't play and we'll bottle it. Same old England. But now Anthony Gordon is actually in this squad. Fingers crossed he can actually get some minutes, because it would be like Gareth Southgate to call him up and not sort of even put him in whatsoever. I actually am attracted to watching England. And like I said, somehow Jordan Henderson's being called up, man. Honest to God, there's even the likes of Ross Barkley, who I know some people are first thought who don't really watch outside of Newcastle will say, Ross Barkley, he plays for Luton, what are you going on about? If you've actually watched Ross Barkley, even the 2 times he's played against us, the majority of the season, he's been absolutely fantastic. Honestly, it looks like the Ross Barkley not really loved, but we all knew in his Everton days. That was probably just when I started watching football. He was unbelievable then, and he's looking kind of like that Ross Barkley now. He's not exactly that Ross Barkley, but he's been much better than Jordan Henderson, who hasn't even been performing that well in the Eredivisie. Like, if you're playing in the Netherlands, you'd think you'd have to be absolutely playing blind as every single game to get called up to the England men's national squad. There's even shouts for Kobbie Mainoo, who, for me personally, I wouldn't have him in there. He's too young. He's not even done that much, but I would actually rather have him, and even Lewis Smiley there ahead of Jordan Henderson. But if we take a look at the squad, Little Arms is in there, and the goalkeeper, Sam Johnston and Aaron Ramsdale. Of course, Nick Pope is injured right now. There were shouts of Jack Butland from Scotland. I'm going to be honest, I do watch Rangers a little bit, but I would probably rather them two in there, and of course, Jordan Pickford. But the rest of the defence, I think he's done very, very good as well. Jared Branthwaite, he's from Everton, of course, the young lad, left-sided centre-back. I need to stop speaking so fast, mate. Honestly, I cannot get my words out, but left-sided centre-back, Jared Branthwaite, he's been unbelievable this season. Not the best in the air, which is quite peculiar for such a tall centre-back, young tall centre-back as well. He's actually pretty local to the North East as well. He's from Carlisle. Ben Chilwell, I don't know what on earth he's done to get called up. Lewis Dunk, I rate that. Joe Gomez, I really do rate that as well. Ezri Konsa, meh. Harry Maguire, he was always going to be in there. John Stones, 100%. And Kyle Walker, certainly. Of course, Kieran Trippier misses out there due to injury as well. Jude Bellingham. If it was me, I probably would have sent him to the under-21s. I'm joking. I mean, it doesn't cross my mind that he's England's best player in there. Conor Gallagher, he's been very good this season, very underrated as well. James Maddison, yes. Declan Rice, yes. And finally on to the attackers, Jared Bourne, 14 goals on the Prem this season. I'm taking him every single day of the week. Phil Foden goes without saying. He's a phenomenal talent. He has to be in that starting 11. But for some reason, for me, he doesn't quite click for England the way he does for Man City. Hopefully, we can get him on top form for England. Anthony Gordon, less said the better. Hey, oh my God, I'm chuffed for him still. Harry Kane, he's probably the first or second name on the team sheet there. Probably first in Gareth Southgate's head. Cole Palmer, as much as I don't like him for what he done in the Carabao Cup against us and sort of rubbed it in with faces at the one, absolute knacker, but he does deserve to be there. He's been very good this season. Marcus Rashford hasn't had the worst season. I think some people are definitely sort of pushing his season as worse as what it actually is. It hasn't been that bad. I think it's 7 goals and 4 assists. That's off the top, man. He definitely has 7 goals, though. His work rate's terrible, but he was always going to be in there if Gareth Southgate was the manager. Bukayo Saka, Ivan Toney and Ollie Watkins, I do rate all of them free. I definitely have Ivan Toney ahead of Ollie Watkins. I do like Ollie Watkins, but I think he gets so much more credit to what he actually brings, especially for a team like England. But there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Anthony Gordon is finally called up for England. Gareth Southgate has sort of come to his senses. He's come to his clues that why he should pick him, and he has picked him. Fingers crossed he can get some minutes, and fingers crossed he doesn't get bloody injured, man, honestly. Off the top of my head right now, I think it's only Isak that's actually been called up for Sweden. As of the time of recording, it's around 3:30 right now. I know you'll obviously be watching it later because I will schedule this video, but you can expect many Newcastle United footballers to get called up for England. Of course, Emil Kraft got called up. I'd expect Shaw for Switzerland, and many more, just all across the board, many more. Without further ado, people, that is the video today. Like if you haven't already, subscribe if you are new, and I haven't actually said this before, but I need to remind you, get them notification bells on to be first for every single video, so you can get in the comments straight away and said, early, first. You do that, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. I've been Geordie Josh. Go and enjoy your day.